Welcome to another video with me, Rev Haynes. I'm working through the top 20 most Googled Bible verses, and today we have Romans chapter 8 verse 28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. God has a purpose for you, and this verse highlights God's purpose. This verse can be especially helpful when dealing with difficult circumstances, since it assures us that God will ultimately work out any situation for our good. Even in our suffering, God can work for our good. What God calls good is best for us. It might not line up exactly with what we've been taught to believe is good, but the Holy God knows what is best, and he can be trusted. God's riches for us are not those of the world or of our own desires, but his riches are spiritual and they are eternal. We are pushed and pulled and manipulated by people who are trained to manipulate us. And I believe that this corrupts our view of what's truly good. At the same time, we are not good ourselves, so we have a skewed view of goodness. It's only the Creator who can truly help us live wholesome and fulfilling lives. He's the only one not spoilt by greed, the lust for power, past failures, or any of the other weaknesses that human beings carry around. We must learn not to be led by foundationless principles, but to build our lives on the values that God has established. Over the years, I've continued to learn that God works by his standards and not by mine, and that's a good thing. It helps to learn what God calls good. If you love God, you've been called according to his purpose, and his purpose is for us to flourish as human beings. Think back to the very beginning and imagine those first people in their special friendship with God, as well as in a wonderful world that God described as good. God now is moving all things towards the time when we can get back to that state. And whilst we wait for that to happen, God uses the events of our lives to prepare us. God draws us now into a close relationship with him, and he makes our hearts ache for his goodness. So when the going is tough, and it will be at times because now we live in the kingdom of evil, we can trust that God will use our circumstances for our good. He will be maturing us as his children, helping us to become ever more Christ-like and closer to him. I very much appreciate the words that come in a verse or two's time in Romans 8. If God is for us, who can be against us? When I'm facing troubles, stuck in a time of suffering, it's good to know that God is with me. It's good to know that God is for me, and it's good to know that God will be working out good for me. God bless you. I'll see you soon. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, share the video with someone else, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Have a look at my previous videos and encourage me with a comment. Thank you.